Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. You've joined me for part 2 of my Portugal adventure. If you haven't seen part 1, that was down in Lisbon. I'll drop a link to that video in the description. Today though, I'm out exploring the Algarve. I've given myself one day to capture the spirit of the place. I've got my camera, I've got you guys, let's go. Today, I've given myself just one day to capture the spirit of the Algarve. It's a challenge because this place is so much more than sunshine and sea. It's light, texture, history and people. And I'm starting here in Burgau, a small fishing village that still holds on to its soul. Burgau is the kind of place where every corner feels like a photograph waiting to happen. The cobbled streets, the bright white walls catching the morning sun, and splashes of colour from doors and tiles. It's all about contrast, light and shadow, tradition and change. My goal here is to find the little details that tell the story of everyday life. At the heart of Burgau is its beach. Fishing boats pulled onto the sand, nets drying in the wind. These are the textures that speak of Algarve's working heritage. It's easy just to get caught up in the tourism, but photography reminds us to look deeper and look at the lives that shaped the coastline before the visitors arrived. Being I've only got one day, the logical place to start is sunrise. As you can see, the beach is absolutely breathtaking. It was well worth getting up early to make the best of the morning light. As soon as I got onto the beach, the very first thing that caught my eye was the footprints in the sand of the early morning beachgoers. They just seemed to really kind of tell a story of the poetry of the place. And with the light as perfect as it is, I couldn't help but grab a shot. I really love this shot because I find that the footprints leading off into the distance really tell a story. It makes you wonder who's been here and where these footprints came from. There's also something magical about knowing that literally one wave and all this will be gone. It's one of those photos you can only capture in the moment, and once it's gone forever. After that, it's all about setting up the tripod. What I want to do here is capture the light reflecting against the wet sand and see if we can capture something really special. The reason I chose this photo for the video is because the light's perfect. This is exactly the kind of shot I love shooting at sunrise. I really enjoy the way the light reflects off the wet sand. It gives the shot some real character. Just the silhouette of Burgau up on the hill behind as well, it really gives a sense of the place. This is a truly magical place to spend the morning. The final shot I want to go for is shooting directly into the sun. And here's the shot. The contrast and the colours are simply fantastic. I really love the cliffs in the background with a bit of the morning haze against them. For me, this shot really captures the essence of the sunrise here in the morning. It's so tranquil and so peaceful, and I think this shot really shows that. I'm heading out now to my first coastal location. I'll pop the name up on screen. Here, the Algarve feels raw, wild and untamed. The cliffs drop dramatically into the Atlantic, and you can almost feel the ocean shaping the landscape, wave by wave, gust by gust. It's not the polished Algarve of the postcards, it's rugged, windswept and absolutely breathtaking. From a photographer's perspective, this spot's a gift. You've got jagged textures in the rock, endless leading lines from the paths along the cliffs, and a constant contrast between the warm tones of the earth and the deep blues of the ocean. One of the best things about this location is a sense of solitude. Even though this is one of the Algarve's most dramatic viewpoints, it often feels like you've got the edge of the world all to yourself. Now that I'm here, this is a really obvious shot for me. The way the waves are moving around the rock is simply awesome, and I definitely have to get a shot here. First thing I like to do is just grab a few quick test shots to see what I think the end result will actually look like. It's one thing to see it in your mind, but it's a totally different thing to see it through the camera. I'm going to be aiming for long exposure photography here. You can see the way the waves are breaking over this rock. It really shows the power of the ocean and the conflict between the ocean and the land. By using the tripod and shooting long exposure, I'm going to capture all of that movement in one image. The only question is which angle to shoot it from, and I don't know whether I'm better off here or over here on the rocky cliffs. This is always one of my favourite moments with photography, that gap between pressing the shutter and waiting for the final image to appear on screen. You know you're going to get something good, but you just don't know how good until you finally see it. This is my first shot and I absolutely love the way that it's come out. This is the kind of photo I can absolutely obsess about. The different variety of the colour, the movement of the ocean. It's breathtaking. I could look at this all day. I've moved angle now onto the different part of the cliff. These rocks here I want to do something special with. The way the waves come crashing in is captivating, so I'm going to aim for a tighter cropped shot here and see if we can really get that motion. And here it is. There's something truly magical about the way the water swirls in these photos. This is the kind of piece of art that I could have on my wall any day and spend hours looking at. It's almost hypnotic the way the colours change and the water moves. And I really love the way the harsh rocks stand out against the softness of the water in this photo. This is definitely one I'm proud of. Let me know what you think in the comments. There we go guys, that's location number 1 bagged and tagged. A great view from the top of the cliffs there, really special. I'm not going to try and embarrass myself by pronouncing any of the names. I'm just going to pop them up on screen so you can have a look at it and decide for yourself how it should be pronounced. But hey, let's head on to destination 2. And here we are at my second beach of the day. And what can I say about this stunner? There are beaches that soothe the soul, and then there are beaches that stir something deeper. It may look tranquil, but this place isn't gentle. This stretch of the Algarve feels unique. Here it's all about drama, steep cliffs, crashing waves and endless horizons. One of the most striking things about this beach is how the human element becomes part of the landscape. If you're looking to capture the soul of a place, you have to start with its inhabitants. And I really just love the photo of this gentleman resting here on the beach, watching the world go by. There's something about the bright colour of his outfit and his board against the natural colours of the landscape that really makes this photo something special. I also really love the reflections and the way the wet sand leads off into the distance in the form of a leading line. Surfers look so small, just flecks against nature's canvas, but that scale, that's what makes this place feel alive. The light here at midday can be quite harsh, and that can make photography difficult. But I really love the way it reflects off the wet sand, using it a little bit like a mirror. There's a sense of peace and tranquility in this photo, with the surfer resting looking out to the waves, but you've still got the raw power of the ocean in the background. Looking into the distance around this rock formation, that seems to be where the more expert surfers meet. And I really love the shot of this surfer here, looking out into the distance, waiting for that perfect wave. It really gives you a feeling of man versus nature, with the rugged rocks in the background and the crashing wave. I also really love the way the blue of the sky is echoed in the blue of the sand. It really ties this shot together well. Of course, you can't come to this part of the Algarve without taking some time to explore the rocky parts of the beach and the rugged landscape. I'm going to try and capture a couple of shots here of both of these different parts of the beach where the tide comes rolling in. Again, I'm looking for that texture and the moving waters. And I can honestly say, having crossed all of these rocks, I understand now why no one rock climbs in Crocs. Having slipped and slided across all of the rocks, I finally got the tripod set up and it's time to grab the shots. This photo is probably my favourite of the two. It's not quite what I was aiming for, but still, I'm really pleased with the result. The long exposure's done exactly what I hoped for, and it's given us some wonderful movement in the waves. Looking back at this photo now, I can still get that exact emotion of how it felt standing out on the rocks, watching the waves rush towards me. And that's what makes photography so special. It's a way of holding on to a moment and a place and a feeling, and for me, this photo does exactly that. There we go, that's location 2 complete. A little bit of atmospheric portraiture on the beach, which is really cool. I'm not sure if the sea stacks sort of worked out as well as I wanted them to, but you know, hey, sometimes that's how it goes. Let me know what you think of the shots in the comment. It's beautiful here. Anyway, here we go. We're going to hit one more beach location and then I'm going to get on for the day, so wish me luck. Heading on to my next beach through all this amazing landscape, I had to take a moment to stop and check the map. And that's when my plan changed. How could I resist the chance to go to the end of the world? And here it is. Just walking towards it, you get a real sense that you're coming to the edge of Europe, and that's something quite special. They call this the end of the world, and standing here with nothing but the Atlantic ahead, you start to understand why. This is the southern western tip of Europe. For centuries, sailors believed that there was simply nothing beyond this. Today, it's one of Portugal's most photographed places, but that doesn't make it easy to capture. The lighthouse itself is simple, almost stoic, red and white, standing guard since 1846. But it's the surroundings, these cliffs carved by wind and time, that gives it context. With this shot, I wanted it to show exactly what the landscape feels like, with the cliffs reaching out into the ocean like bony fingers, and the lighthouse perched on top like it's protecting us from some unseen menace. With the lighting, I wanted to get that retro feel, and I think I've just about done it. I'm really pleased with this shot. Okay, and there we go. That is my last destination I'm going to do today on the road. I'm going to head back now to the little village that I'm staying in. Again, I won't embarrass myself trying to pronounce it, but I'll pop the name up on screen. Hopefully we'll get a bit of a sunset there, and that'll be quite a nice way to round out this video. Final thoughts then. So Portugal, the Algarve is stunning. The coastline is beautiful, absolutely. It's also a very empty place as well, so it's the kind of place you can come and get lost intentionally. Which I think is always quite magic. Certainly now, you know, with the state of the rest of the world, sometimes it's quite cool to come and get away from everything, and you know, you could spend a whole day here and see no one, or you can go find the busy little cafes and find your own vibe. So it's really cool in that sort of way. I think for me, one of the things that I've really enjoyed is just how outstanding the natural landscape is here. It's a breathtaking sort of place, and I think you have to see it to really sort of appreciate that. So hopefully some of the photos and what you've seen in this video will do that justice. And as one very final thought as well, if you enjoy the channel, obviously don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, it really helps. More importantly though, if you want to support the channel, I've actually started a new digital magazine. It's called Nox Exposure. It's all about my photography, what inspires me. I talk you through all the different shots that I take, the techniques that I use. So if you're into photography, it's really interesting. If you're into you know, just seeing different places in general, it's a pretty good read as well. All the money from that actually goes to supporting this channel, helping me make new content. So if you're interested, please do kind of click on the link in the description and have a look at that. The very first episode's all about the Isle of Wight. It's the place that I live. It really inspires me, so it's a really great place to start. And I think episode 2 is probably going to be focused again around Portugal and the Lisbon experience, and the different kind of shooting that I've done this trip. To end the video, what better way is there to be back in Burgau, waiting for the sun to set? If I'm honest, I've been waiting ages to get this shirt into a video. My first shot here at sunset is exactly what I wanted to capture. The white of the buildings, the soft sand and the smooth ocean, the rocks dragging out into the sea, and the light is simply perfect. This photo doesn't just capture the scene, it captures a moment in time that will never exist again. Walking through the streets of Burgau at this time of evening, you can't help but feel privileged to be here. The calmness and the tranquility, mixed with the nightlife, is something quite special. It's hard not to stop and take a photograph every few steps, because every angle and every view here is something unique. I don't think I could have found a photo simpler than this, but still, there's something captivating about it. I really love the way you have the leading lines leading down into the shot. The colours are fantastic, and even if you've never been there, there's something in this photo that gives you a taste of the warmth and the sensation of the place. In a way, it allows you to travel there and share the moment with me. My time here in the Algarve has been amazing. It's more than just a place to relax. Being here on the Algarve, you've got a sense of time standing still, and it gives you a moment to take it all in and just hang out with nature. Walking through the streets on my last night, I know already that this is going to be a place that stays with me for a long, long time. I'm still here, and I'm already missing it. There you go guys, that concludes my whirlwind trip around the Algarve. Hopefully we've got some great shots. Let me know what you think of them in the comments. Me, now, I'm going to go get myself a cheeky little beer. But until next time, keep taking those photos and I'll see you again.